Hi guys, so I hope you all remember a few weeks ago actually, when the EU had said it was considering invoking Article 16 of the Northern Ireland Protocol, which of course is part of the withdrawal agreement, to limit the export of vaccines out of the EU. So they had put in place this limit on vaccination exportation, and because of Northern Ireland's position, they were remember, not they didn't actually invoke it, but they were considering invoking Article 16 of the Northern Ireland Protocol. Now, you have to remember that the Unionists have been demanding Article 16 to be invoked. They were threatening to invoke it. If I'm not sure they can do that, but they were also to this day they're demanding that the entire protocol is thrown in the bin. Remember that the Article 16 of the protocol is to allow part of the protocol to be suspended in order to fix a particular problem. It's actually a safety measure against suspending the entire protocol. Now, when the EU said they were considering doing it, the media went crazy. There was a firestorm of criticism. The Irish government criticised the European Commission. The British government criticised the European Commission. The British government continued to criticise the European Commission over this. Ursula von der Leyen is continually condemned for this by Brexiteers, by many people. And now I want to show you what Boris Johnson has said in Parliament on Wednesday.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Prime Minister, you're aware now of the problems we warned about over many months before the Northern Ireland Protocol was introduced. These problems are scheduled to get worse from April. Can you outline a timeline where people in Northern Ireland, and indeed all across the UK, as indicated in the EU Parliament petition last week, when all of us can enjoy free trade across the nation, including from GB to NI, as every other independent trading nation enjoys?
So, of course, this is a unionist MP who's asking Boris Johnson a question about trade. Of course, because Northern Ireland is part of the single market and the customs union when it comes to goods, there's no longer unfettered trade between Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and they're complaining about this, and they want Boris Johnson to fix it. He can't fix it. And I don't think he even cares about fixing it. But let's hear what he had to say.
Yes, indeed, Mr. Speaker. And I've made it absolutely clear to our EU friends and partners that we want to make our relationship work, but it is also absolutely essential that there should be untrammelled free trade exchange of goods, people, services and capital through all parts of the UK, and we will do everything we can to ensure that that is the case, including, as I've said in the chamber before, and to his honourable colleagues, including invoking Article 16 of the protocol if that is necessary.
I'm suspending the House for 3 minutes.
And that's it. Boris Johnson is suggesting he's going to invoke Article 16 of the Northern Ireland Protocol, and nothing happens. So when the EU said that they're willing to do it, everyone involved in Brexit loses their minds. But when Boris Johnson says it, things continue as normal. How come Boris Johnson has not received any criticism for this? Why hasn't the Speaker of the House said, "What the hell did you just say?" Okay, I understand the Speaker of the House can't do that, but somebody stand up and say, "Sorry, did the Prime Minister threaten to invoke Article 16 after the EU was criticised for considering invoking Article 16? Why is there one rule for the EU and another rule for Boris Johnson? I understand there's one rule for the public and there's another rule for Dominic Cummings when it comes to the pandemic. But when Boris Johnson says, "I'm considering," or "I would, happily consider invoking Article 16," and no one says anything, but when Ursula von der Leyen says it, we have to we have to lose our minds. Am I exaggerating the situation here, or am I mistaken in some way? Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?